Dover. My dad woke me up at 1:20 and said, "We're going on holiday, are you ready for fun?" I rubbed my tired eyes and yawned like a drain as I tried to awaken my sluggish old brain. Dad opened the car door and pointed inside, and when I saw the space left I could have just cried. I was so tightly wedged I almost popped like a blister. I was crushed between a suitcase and my big sister. I called out to Dad, but he said over and over, "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." Mum flipped on the radio and started singing till my head ached like heck and my ears started ringing. I said, "Dad, I'm sorry, but I have to beg. I'm cramped in the space the size of an egg." He paid no attention, just said over and over, "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." I tried to sleep, but it was all in vain. How can you drift off when you're in so much pain? And to top it all off more seriously, I started to really need a wee. I told my dad, but he refused to pull over. He said, "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." I held it in for as long as I could, but in the end it was all no good. I grabbed a bottle and to my sister's horror started filling it up like there was no tomorrow. She cried, "Dad, for God's sake, will you stop the rover?" He said, "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." I said to my sister, "What do I do with this?" She said, "Stay away from me with your bottle of—" "Will you two be quiet?" Mum huffed like a bull, "or we'll turn this car around and go back to Hull." "Not a chance," said Dad as he began to take over. "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." I wound down the window and threw out the bottle as Dad put his foot down and went full throttle. To my horror, it hit another car at a height, and it came after us with flashing blue lights. Dad said, "Wait a minute, is he pulling us over? There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." The policeman gave Dad a good ticking off for throwing a bottle of warm yellow pop. My sister said, "That wasn't pop, that was wit," but Dad said, "You stay out of this, Emily." The cops said the limit's 60, but you were doing 10 over. Dad said, "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Dover." Dad agreed to go on a course to be told to stop speeding by the police force. I said maybe they'll teach him to stop being so mad. Mum said this is the worst trip we've ever had, and I felt as unlucky as a one-leaf clover as we finally painfully pulled into Dover. I thought my troubles were done as we got on the ferry until the boat started tossing and turning so scary. It seemed to me like we were going too quick and everyone around me was being violently sick. I went to the French captain and said, "Slow down, no allez." He said, "There'll be hell to pay if we don't get to Calais." And so I live here now in France to this day. I've changed my name to Pierre and I wear a beret. I eat lots of snails and warm runny cheese and say bonjour très bien with relative ease. And people ask me, "When are you going to come back over?" And I say there's no way in hell I'm returning to Dover.